Over the offseason, we talked about our draft, a lot of the young guys we brought in. But and we talked about Trent McDuffie being the one cornerback, our first round pick. He was starting at cornerback today. So we had L'Jarius Sneed on one side and Trent McDuffie on the other side. But one name that we talked about in the fourth round was 6'3" cornerback Joshua Williams, who from a lot of people, they said if he didn't go to Fayetteville State, he would have been a top 2-round pick. But he went to Fayetteville State, 6'3", 193. He was starting with the ones today at nickel. He was our nickel cornerback with the ones today. So, and apparently, and one of the videos I saw, he actually had a few pass deflections from Mahomes. So that's a big difference. A guy coming from a small school, JD, you came from a small school. And you obviously had a long career in the NFL. So what do you have to say about this fourth round find in Joshua Williams on day one of training camp? He's rolling with the ones at nickel. What do you got to say about that?
Really, man, to be honest with you, I look at it like this, and here's the reality. If you can play, they're going to find you. It don't matter if you're at Fayetteville State, EKU, or you're at a huge school, or maybe you're at a JUCO, whatever. If a guy can play football, they will find you. That's what they hire the scouts to do, to go out there and do diligent work, find the detail, see what a guy can offer the table, come out to a team. And Josh Williams, man, look, 6'3", man, rangy, lanky. Man, if the guy can play, man, shoot. To me, I love the range. I love a guy who's 6'3", who's got a lot of length. And he's going to compete. So when he's running like that in nickel, 7-on-7, yeah, they see something in it. They know what they got. I mean, he's a fourth round pick, so it's not like the dude is like, can't play, right? They know because they drafted the guy. And so to me, I think that if you have a guy that is able to handle that right now in training camp, you throw him into the fire immediately at this moment, right? Against the number ones, you see what he can do, see how he handles it. And so all the good things coming out of camp, man, he's doing a tremendous job. So, man, hats off to him, but hats off to the scouts and whatnot and picking this guy up to get him here. And I'm going to say this. I was having a conversation with somebody the other night, and they were talking about because prime time is going against, Alabama and whatnot. And so I said, the thing is, competing against big schools, what happens with the smaller schools is it's the alignment that's different. Okay. Your skill guys, wide receivers, DBs, these guys still got, they still got skill sets. I mean, still lanky. They got athletic ability. They could cut on a dime. They could catch. They could run. They got all that you need. And so for whatever reason, a guy falls somewhere here and that's where he chose. Hey, you know what? Shoot, I know he's here with the Chiefs right now. Beautiful, man. I love it, baby. I love it.
Yeah, power to the small school guys. And I remember when we drafted him, one of the things they said was, small school guy. He dominated during Senior Bowl. He actually showed that the school was just a name. He actually is, this guy is legit. He tore it up during the Senior Bowl. That's where he raised his draft value. But, first day of training camp, he's already rolling with the ones. You would think usually a fourth to seventh round guys aren't really rolling with the ones right off the bat like that. Do you think he probably showed something in the mini camp and before this where it's like, okay, this kid's we're gonna roll him with the ones and the nickel?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he had to show it during training camp, mini camps, in OTAs. But like I said, they knew what they had when the guy came in. They knew he was a competitor. And so they got tons of film on him. I'm sure they got a lot of, paperwork as far as like what he was able to do, and just evaluating him and analyzing, all his attributes. And so a guy like this, you're not afraid to let a guy come in and like, look, this guy right here, if he has it about him and he was a dog at the Fayetteville State, shoot, hey, they got great receivers in Fayetteville State. Put him in here with the ones. Let's see what he can do. And so if I'm sure he performed in OTAs. They see he was able to, retain a lot of the information as far as defensively knowing the schemes and whatnot. He worked well with the guys he was working with, I'm sure, like communication-wise and stuff like that. And some guys are just football players, right? I mean, I've always said that that's probably one of the greatest compliments that a coach can give you is a guy's a football player. That means he has instincts. That means he has this uncanny ability to make plays, right? And so he probably has it about him. And so they seen it. Shoot, Spags probably seen it. It's like, look, man, this guy right here, put this guy in. Okay. There's no reason. Look, this ain't a popularity contest. by no means.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're trying to win football games. Yeah. If this guy right here could come in and play nickel, he could start right now, put him in there. Yeah. So it's all about how a guy can handle it. So it don't matter, man. 4th round, 1st round, shoot. Guy can do it. Let him do it. Shoot. Think about it. We said that, and here we had Creed Humphrey in. We got Trey Smith. We got guys like that in who got drafted a little bit later. Shoot. So a guy can play, man. Shoot, let him play. He's got the talent. He's got the ability. Let him do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just love his size too. 6'3", 193.
That's what I love more than anything else. That right there, when you say that, man, whew, I mean, he passes the look test. I mean, you see that length on screen. Oh yeah. At the nickel, yes, sir. Oh yeah.
That generally, when you talk about starting at the nickel, when we go to the nickel defense and he's with the ones, isn't usually the corner that you bring into that? Isn't that like more of a smaller stature guy generally? Don't usually when they bring that nickel corner in, isn't that more of a smaller stature guy? I guess it depends on defense.
It depends on the defense. It can be somewhat. It's really the capable guy that you want, right? It's the guy that is. He may not be the starting corner. He's the guy who's next in line, right? That's the idea that you're really kind of looking for. Is a guy who can play, who that you have no problems bringing in, and can cover guys on either side. So as far as being in a nickel slot, these guys can go anywhere. Across the field, up the field, out, in. So I think that 6'3" range actually bodes well for him, right? Because now he can actually reach over and knock a ball down. He could actually run with the smaller guys. And that's the thing about it. If he can start and stop with the smaller guys that may be in nickel, shoot, then he's going to be all over it. But if you think about it, like, look at Juju. Juju is what? He's 6 foot, like 195 or something like that. Where is it? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
So, this guy's 3 inches, taller than him. He's got the range. Yeah. They the same weight. So if he can run with it, shoot, it don't even matter. So,
and the video one of the videos I saw today, he was stride for stride with McCole Hardman. That was one of the pass deflections he had. It was right in McCole Hardman's Brett Baskey. He knocked it out. He knocked it out of his hand.
There you go. There it is. Like I'm just talking. There it is. So you run with guys. McCole Hardman. Come on now. That's speed.
Yeah.
And if he stride for stride, he can stay in his hip pocket.
Yep.
That's an NFL receiver. Mm-hmm. So, and he's a good NFL receiver. Yep. So that's what you want. That's what you want to.
Yeah, people can say what they want about McCole Hardman, but if we're talking just about speed, he's amongst the top echelon of the league with speed. And we're talking about this kid sticking with him stride for stride. That tells you what you need to know about the kid. Absolutely.
Right. And the thing is, it's just going to help build confidence in him.
Yeah.
Right. Because he knows who he's going against. So he's seen McCole play on Sundays. He knows what he can do. He's been watching him. So that's just a challenge for him. And sometimes guys like that can step up to the plate, when you give them challenges like that. Yeah. Other guys may not. They might slough off or, they might not meet the challenge. But the guy like that who has the mentality and the fortitude to go out there and just, lay him out, he like, come on, bring it. I don't care who you put in front of me. Let me go. Let's go again. He seemed like he's a guy like that. Shoot, I know he's learning that from Fayetteville State. I promise you that. I'm going to promise you that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and you also have, you were a small school guy. You were a 2nd round pick, not a 4th round pick, but there's a little bit of that small school chip on your shoulder, right? You got a little bit of that.
Yeah, but it was always competing against these guys who were supposed to be the elite guys, right? That went through these schools, and I had the opportunity to go different places,
right?
And I ended up at EKU, and so being at EKU when I came out, and then when I realized, when the scouts was coming to me and everybody was like, "Hey, man, you're rated number 1 tight end in the nation." I'm like, "Oh, cool!" Like out of East Kentucky, 1AA, there's no, the entire nation. Because your ability, you're running a 4.5, 4.4, you got a 41 inch vertical. You know what I'm saying? We know your ability, and you can't hide that. I don't care where you go play. And then Eastern, we got a tradition at Eastern. We was one of the best teams in 1AA football anyway in the nation. So we had a number of guys that got into the NFL before me. Yeah. So they knew what they was getting out of EKU. They knew the head coach was one of the winningest coaches of all time. Who he's going to recruit.
Yeah.
But a guy like that from Fayetteville State, when I'm going against guys, in the combine, and I went to the Super Bowl, same thing. So I get my eyes on all these guys I hear. I'm trying my best, and I want to see where I'm at with these guys. Yeah. And so when I felt that, I got there, it's like, oh, shoot. You know what? Not just right here. I'm above some of these guys. You know what I mean? It was lights out then. Shoot, it was over. I must tell a story. So quick story, all right? I was telling my brother the same thing like this. Like my sophomore year in basketball, my freshman year, I didn't play. I played like 3 minutes the entire season. Crazy. That's a whole different story. But my sophomore year, after football season was over, I come out there on the basketball court. And while I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the rim. And I'm looking at the rim like, man, you know what? Like, I think I could grab the rim. So I jump up. I grab the rim with two hands, like coming into my sophomore year. I grabbed it with two hands. I said, man, it's over then. Man, every chance I got in the game, I'm windmilling and that, man, I'm telling you, I'm trying to bring the goal down. And so in my mind, once I had that step and I seen I could do something, which I know this guy like it from Fayetteville, going back to what I was saying before, he just gained more confidence. He's like, man, I could play with these guys. Absolutely. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. So feed him. So I love it. So he got me excited right now just even thinking about this, man. Yeah. So I know it.
Yeah, no, I had to leave the show with that because I thought, we talk about Karlaftis, we talk about even Justin Ross, talk about Skyy Moore, we talk about all these guys. Josh Williams, we didn't really talk about that much, and we see rolling out in training camps. Day one, this guy's rolling with the ones in Fayetteville State. That had to lead the show today. They had to.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.